All right, let's start with the big story that has captivated pretty much everyone across India. The Jodhpur Sessions Court is presently hearing the arguments on his bail petition in the 1998 black buck poaching case. The judge Ravindra Joshi, who has, remember, been transferred, however, he can still continue to hear the case for the next 7 days, is presently in the Jodhpur Sessions Court and is hearing Salman's bail application. Remember, a judge, though they are transferred, can still hear cases for a period of 7 days from their date of transfer. Now, Salman's sister Alvira and Arpita have also reached the court premises for the hearing. His bail application order was deferred by the Sessions Court yesterday. Bollywood superstar Salman Khan has spent his second night in jail. Now, the actor's lawyer is ready with a 51-page bail application. The actor is being kept at the central jail and no one is in fact presently being allowed to meet him. All right, so this is the latest in the case. The bail application plea had been filed yesterday in the Jodhpur court. It could have been heard in the Jodhpur court yesterday. However, Judge Ravindra Joshi said that he needed time to in fact sift through the details of the case to try and understand the case better before he could hear the bail plea filed by actor Salman Khan. It was day before yesterday that a Sessions Court had in fact sentenced Salman Khan. It had convicted Salman Khan and then had given him a sentence of 5 years in prison for having shot 2 black bucks in a case that dates back to 1998. So it is 20 years later that the wheels of justice in India have moved, and finally it is being said that Salman Khan, the Bollywood superstar, is being held to account for what he had done way back in the year 1998. But immediately after that, judges were transferred, and that is something that has raised several eyebrows in terms of as to what exactly has been happening. All right, now to discuss exactly what the implications of this case are and as to how this entire case is likely to play out, we are joined by senior lawyer Vikas Singh, who's joining us from the National Capital. Good morning to you, Mr. Singh. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on this broadcast. You know, for the viewers who are looking at this case, try and explain to us the procedures of how bail is granted in this case, because it was yesterday that the bail plea had been put into the Jodhpur court. However, the judge hearing the case said that he needed more time, for which Salman Khan has spent 1 more day in prison. So can we expect that some sort of a judgment will be given in terms of the bail plea that has been filed today, or could the judge still say that he needs more time to arrive at a conclusion in this case?
Well, there are two things. Firstly, normally in case of conviction, a normal citizen of this country is expected to do at least half of his sentence before the court.
Mr. Singh, let me interrupt you there. There seems to be a bit of an issue with the audio which is coming through. We'll try fix that audio. Meanwhile, let's also dip in and listen to what the defense counsel of Salman Khan, Mahesh Bora, had to say just before he walked into the court with a 51-page bail plea petition that has been filed in the case.
जब तक रिलीव नहीं होते हैं, उम्मीद आज ऑर्डर होगा।
तो क्या ये नए जज को सुनेंगे या फिर एज पर रूल वो सुन सकते हैं?
नहीं, सुन सकते हैं।
तो आज हम उम्मीद करें कि
वो जज पे डिपेंड करता है।
All right, so that was Defence Counsel Mahesh Bora there being very circumspect in what he was saying to the media just before he walked into the court premises this morning. He said, look, we would like to first see as to what the judge would say, and then we would make any sort of comments. So that is what Mahesh Bora had to say, being very tight-lipped in terms of what he was expecting would happen in the court today. And also in a move that would impact the bail hearing of Bollywood superstar Salman Khan, who has been lodged in the Jodhpur Central Prison after being sentenced to 5 years in the 1998 black buck poaching case. The Rajasthan High Court on Friday had transferred no less than 87 district-level judges of the state. Now, Ravindra Kumar Joshi has also been transferred.
तो श्वेता देख सकते हैं कि इस वक्त
आदेश पारित होगा।
अभी आपको लंच के बाद सुनवाई नहीं होगी?
नहीं, सुनवाई नहीं होगी, सिर्फ आदेश प्रोनाउंस करेगी कोर्ट।
ठीक है। और जो कोर्ट रिकॉर्ड की बात लगातार कर रहे हैं सरकारी वकील,
वो रिकॉर्ड आ गया, रिकॉर्ड सब देख, वो
यानी कि अपनी तरफ से
कंप्लीट, अपनी तरफ से, कोर्ट की तरफ से सब पक्ष।
चलिए, ये बड़ी खबर आ रही है कोर्ट से कि अब लंच के बाद में जो सेंटेंस फैसला आएगा।
All right, it was not very clear as to what exactly was the interaction there, but that was Mahesh Bora, the defense counsel of Salman Khan, who, after presenting his arguments inside the court, he's come out and said that post-lunch, the court will announce whether Salman Khan will be given a bail or not. So this is effectively the sum and substance of what was in fact playing out in terms of what Mahesh Bora had to say when he was questioned as to what had taken place in terms of the proceedings inside the court premises. So a 51-page bail application was in fact filed. The defense counsel Mahesh Bora had walked in with what he believed were solid grounds on basis of which Salman Khan should have been granted bail. Now, what Mahesh Bora, the defense counsel, has also come out and said, he has stated that no further arguments will be heard either by the defense or by the prosecution. The judge will now come forth and will announce his decision on whether Bollywood superstar Salman Khan will be allowed to walk free or not. Whether his bail application has been accepted and he'll be granted bail is something which will, of course, be known by lunch this afternoon.
Please, भैया, please.
ओके ओके
चलो पीछे
लगाओ माइक ठीक है 2 बजे ऑर्डर यार ठीक है महेंद्र बोरा
2 मिनट प्लीज
अरे हट गया ना पीछे तो देखो जस्ट बिकॉज़
lunch. Sir, but what was the reason yesterday itself it was said that
they have seen the record now.
All right, so that is what is in fact being said now. We are given to understand that the court will, of course, pronounce its judgment in terms of whether bail will be granted or not at 2 p.m. This is some preliminary information that has just come in. We need to confirm this information. So this is what the lawyers who, in fact, walked out from the court premises have said, that the judge has heard the arguments on whether Salman Khan should be given the bail or not. Now, this, of course, remember, is a crucial point on which hinges a lot of the brand Salman, also the several of the endorsements and several films that he's in fact been signed up for. So several hundred crores of rupees is in fact hinged on this one particular decision of the Jodhpur court. Whether Salman Khan walks free or not is something that will decide the fate of so much of money that's already been invested in several of the projects which Salman Khan is already a part of. And also, this is a case that has attracted a lot of attention fundamentally because this is about actor Salman Khan, someone who is loved by crores of his fans across India and, of course, around the world. Secondly, the question that is being asked is, in such a high-profile case, will justice be done? Now, a lot of people are now turning around and saying that, look, the wheels of justice have moved slowly, but the fact of the matter is, even though it is 20 years that have come and gone by from the time that this incident has taken place, Salman Khan has been held guilty, he's been convicted. So, yes, the wheels of justice may have moved slowly, but justice is being done. Salman Khan, despite his celebrity status, is being held to account. The other question which is also now being raised is why a quantum of 5 years in prison, and is this a sentence that was harsh? Essentially because Salman Khan is a Bollywood celebrity. These are some of the questions which are in fact being spoken of and raised in the context of this particular verdict that has been given out. And I'm now told that we have Vikas Singh, the senior lawyer, who's joining us from New Delhi. Mr. Singh, if I could come to you now, hopefully we have a better line. You know, the latest that we've got in terms of this case is that we're given to understand that the court will announce its judgment by 2 p.m. this afternoon. What is your take on this, sir?
Well, as I was telling you earlier, a normal citizen of this country has to wait for half the sentence before the sentence can be suspended and he be enlarged on bail. That's the rule that is being followed in this country. But that rule doesn't apply apparently to politicians and celebrities. So there, the court goes into a little more detail, and like they did in the case of Jayalalitha. So maybe the court may consider him eligible for bail, but the consideration for that should be that the case on the basis of which he has been convicted, the evidence on the basis of which he has been convicted, if the appellate court finds that the evidence is not sort of reliable or trustworthy, or that some principles of justice has been vitiated, it is only in those circumstances that bail at this stage can be granted to Mr. Salman Khan. So I don't know. Mr. Singh,
if I could just interrupt you there.
The power is always there.
Mr. Singh, if I could just interrupt you there. You said that generally in India, half the sentence gets over before bail is granted to an individual. Is that a procedure, sir?
That's the convention that is followed right up to the Supreme Court. So when we argue day in, day out, we argue cases of people who have been accused of offences, and the court normally says, no, but you let him at least complete half the sentence, then only we consider suspending the sentence. So that's the norm. That's the norm which an average citizen of this country has to face, and regardless of what his case may be. So even if he has got a watertight case, even if he has no evidence against him, normally courts don't go into that aspect at all, and they say, no, you have, because you have already suffered conviction.
All right.
So you should at least stay half the sentence in jail before we suspend. But I said that rule is breached normally in the case of politicians and celebrities, where the court goes into little more detail. But the basis for suspending the sentence should be not his conduct, not that he participated. Those are all pre-trial or during trial considerations.
All right, fair enough. Mr. Singh, do continue to stay on with us. I'll just come back to you on this. I'm told that we're also joined by lawyer Amit Khemka. Good morning to you, Mr. Khemka. We are given to understand in this case that the decision on whether Salman Khan will be given bail or not will be announced by 2 p.m. Your take on this, Mr. Khemka? All right, we seem to have lost the line with lawyer Amit Khemka. They will try reconnect with him. Mr. Singh, if I could come back to you on this case, whether bail is given or not, and also the procedure and also the convention and the norms that you were just talking to us about. All right, we seem to have lost the line with Mr. Vikas Singh as well. We'll try reconnect him back with this. This, of course, is what has happened so far in the case. Now, the judge has said that he will announce the decision on whether Salman Khan will be given a bail or not. We are given to understand by 2 p.m. Now, we earlier spoke with senior lawyer Vikas Singh, who is stating that, look, this is as a matter of convention and a norm. Generally, it is half the sentence is through before bail is, of course, given. But in the case of politicians and certain high-profile people, this is a convention and a norm that is set aside because for them, different norms and conventions apply. Now, it'll be interesting to see as to what will, of course, happen in the case of Salman Khan. Yesterday, remember, when the bail application had been filed in the Jodhpur court, the judge had said he needed more time to look into the merits of the case before he could actually pronounce whether Salman Khan should be given bail or not. And to discuss more in terms of what exactly is expected in this case, we are joined in by my colleague Akansha Swarup. Akansha, so this is the latest that we've got. A decision is expected to be announced by 2 p.m. this afternoon. But a lot of people would, of course, now be looking at if Salman Khan is allowed to walk free. They would say, look, this has essentially happened because he is such a big celebrity.
Absolutely, Mohammed. As you aptly pointed out, that the decision will now be announced post 2 p.m. And that also goes on to say that the judge is taking all precautions to consider all kind of possibilities, which is why we earlier mentioned on WION that the Sessions Judge, Mr. Joshi, had asked for earlier proceedings because yesterday, this is one of the reasons why the bail plea hearing was deferred to today, because he was not contended. He was not happy with the grounds that were being presented by Salman Khan's defense counsel, which is why he asked for the proceedings of the previous case, and that is one major reason why the judge wants to take all his time and be completely contented with whatever decision he takes, whether or not it is to consider or reject Salman Khan's bail.
Absolutely, and also considering, Akansha, that as many as 87 judges have been transferred in the aftermath of the verdict, which also includes the judge who in fact pronounced and held Salman Khan guilty, after listening through the merits of the case, and he also had sentenced Salman Khan for 5 years. And also the judge, Ravindra Joshi, is going to be, of course, now be listening to the case, who's heard the case of the bail plea that's been filed by Salman Khan's defense counsel. Does this come across as strange, that why so many of these judges to be transferred immediately after Salman Khan's verdict was given out?
Right. It is a fact that, there's been a major reshuffle in Rajasthan's judiciary, and that both the judges, the district and sessions judges, Mr. Khatri and Mr. Joshi, who convicted Salman Khan and who are hearing Salman Khan's bail plea, both of them are transferred now. But having said that, yes, this does come across as a surprise because, this transfer has happened 10 days before it is supposed to take place. There's no denial in the fact that, there's always a judiciary reshuffle taking place in mid-April, and this reshuffle was supposed to take place in mid-April, but it has, again, there's no denying of the fact that it has taken place 10 days before in advance. But will it or will it not impact the case is the more important question at the moment, apart from the fact that, these judges they can only hear the bail or, be part of the case till 7 days post their transfer. The fact is that, not a major impact can be seen because there will be another judge who will be taking over, and they are used to these changes. So taking that into consideration, yes, there might just be another perspective coming in.
Absolutely.
And to give due justice, they will be doing their study afresh.
Fair enough. We'll do continue to stay on with this, Akansha. I'm told that we're also joined in by lawyer Amit Khemka, who's now joining us live. Good morning to you, Mr. Khemka. If you can hear me now, the question that I was trying to ask you a little while back when we were trying to connect you with the phone was, of course, in the case, looking at what has happened so far, we're given to understand that the defense has, of course, presented its arguments as to why Salman Khan needs to be granted bail. We expect a decision to be announced by the court by 2 p.m. Talk to us a bit about the proceedings of how bail is in fact given. How much time does it normally take? And what's actually playing out in the case of Salman Khan? Is bail petition being heard, in an extremely quick manner because Salman Khan is such a big Bollywood celebrity?
I actually don't think that there is any undue hurry which has been shown by the court in this case. Actually, whenever an appeal is presented under Section 389 of CRPC, an application is filed for suspension of sentence, and that application has to be heard immediately together with the admission of the appeal by the judge. It is another thing whether the judge decides to grant suspension of sentence or not. And so far as I understand the law, while the judge has to keep the gravity of the offense or gravity of whatever evidence is there or for conviction of an accused, the judge also has to weigh whether how was the conduct of the person during the trial. Did he try to misuse the conditions of the bail? Or did he not cooperate with the trial court proceedings or with the investigation? And his conduct is very important for that purpose. And it is actually considered as a continuation of trial. So a person who was continuously on bail for 19 odd years during the trial, there should be no reason for, while his appeal is yet to be heard, should be no reason for him not to be granted the suspension of sentence and the consequent bail. So I feel that it is, I mean, in fact, I'll be surprised if the judge decides not to grant him the suspension of sentence. I don't think there is any, so far as the court is concerned, I don't think there is any special treatment being given to him.
Right.
Yes, I feel that there is something which is not there in the usual course. That is, for example, media not being allowed inside the court. So I understand why the media is not being allowed inside the court. If any number of lawyers and any number of other people can be allowed inside the court, why the media should, of course, the camera should not be allowed inside the court, but why the people reporting should not be allowed inside the court. And that is something very unusual in this case. And then what is unusual about this case is that the treatment being given to Mr. Salman Khan inside the jail, you know, he is being allowed a stream of visitors there. And there are media reports that he was allowed cigarettes inside, which is a totally banned substance inside the jail. No convict or accused or under trial is allowed to consume cigarettes inside the jail. So that is very, very strange. And that is the wrong treatment. That is the VIP treatment which he's getting.
Right.
It is not that he's getting any VIP treatment in the court.
All right, indeed. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Khemka, and also to my colleague Akanksha Swaroop, who've joined us on this broadcast. This, of course, remember, is such a high-profile case. Now, there are different contending arguments that are in fact being put forth. Salman Khan is a big celebrity, and that is why his bail plea is being heard so expeditiously, while others are saying, look, according to the letter of the law, this is something that is perfectly permissible, and there is no reason as to why people should believe that he's, you know, if bail were to be granted to him at 2 p.m. today, this has been done expeditiously. We'll, of course, be getting you the details of this story.